Hello, everyone. We are back for our fourth episode right now. We have a,
Yep.
a guest today, our first interview with Connor Chappell.
Yep.
As you can
So
see, Jafari's in the studio, but I'm back at home now. We're on Zoom again, but hopefully the audio is still okay.
yeah.
So I think we want to just jump into it. Connor, you want to introduce yourself?
Yo, what's up? I'm Connor Chappell. I'm 15 and I'm from Michigan.
Yeah,
Yep.
and you're
You've been how long have you been writing?
About 2 years.
About 2 years.
dang, and you're already
Yeah.
entering into the pro space
For
Yep.
sure, bro. Yeah.
after two
It's a
years.
dream come
Yeah,
true. Yeah,
Yeah, two
it
years,
really
that's
is.
crazy.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, a lot of excelling in those 2 years. It's very awesome. How did you hear about one wheeling?
Really, I had for the longest time wanted like a boosted board or electric skateboard. And
Yeah.
I just wanted something to ride. And I just saw an ad for Onewheel and I was like, that would be sweet too. And so my
Yeah.
parents were like, hey, for Christmas, you can either get a Onewheel or a boosted board type deal. And I was like, Onewheel would be sick. And
Yeah.
I got that and I just started ripping ever since.
Yeah. Like what was your first model? What board was that?
It was a pint, stock pint, everything.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Hmm.
I know what that's like, dude. 2 years in, I was still
Yeah,
just
bro.
I was still just putzing around on a Pint X.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They're fun.
Well,
Yeah.
like how long were you riding? How long were you riding that board?
4,000 miles. So
4,000 miles on the pint.
yeah, on the pint.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, that
Dang.
So
thing was
yeah,
In
you're
in
ripping.
two
you're shredding.
years.
2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Oh my
I
God.
think I have the record for top speed. I did 29.9
Dang.
Like on the pint. So
on the
you have
pint.
like the,
On the
the
pint.
overall the overall like record like ever
I
like on
think
the one
so.
wheel. That's pretty
Dang.
crazy.
29.9.
Hmm.
How did you do that?
That's that's
I
crazy.
just I had a garage sale rollerblade wrist guards, okay? 700 miles on the board, and I just was like, man, I bet I can go down the neighborhood so fast. I was like, man, I'm gonna try and go as fast as possible. And I went and I totally nosedive, ate crap, and it was like so loud from the one wheel like thumping, like all the
Yeah.
neighbors came out and was like, what in the heck happened? And I actually broke my phone screen, and I was more mad about that than nosediving.
Man,
It's crazy.
Oh
that's
my
gnarly,
God, dude.
bro.
Yeah,
Dang. But 29, you nosedived at 29.9.
Yeah,
yeah.
and then like
Good
what was this just a regular pint, like a stock pint, or like
stock by everything stock. Like I don't even I just think it was a stock grip tape too. Like everything was stock.
My God, dude.
dude,
That
that's
is that
insane.
is crazy, man. I've gone like
Yeah.
20 on my Pint, man. 29. Almost it went like basically 30 miles an hour on a Pint.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
did you break anything or just get scratched up?
No, just got
Just
scratched up and I was
dang.
just fine. It was crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about like how long were you like practicing riding stock? Like how long was that stock period before you bought accessories for your board?
It was probably like 2,000 miles probably because
So
then Rereal popped out and I was like,
yeah.
that's legit. And it was
Yeah,
I
and
think it
then
was a
you even
yeah,
raced
first.
a you even raced a
Hmm.
re-wheeled board, right? Your pint?
Yeah, yep, Full Light
Yeah.
Fest. Yeah,
Wow.
that was fun.
And like so basically like what the rear wheel does is like it makes it basically like into an XR, right? Speed wise.
It's all it does is change the firmware. So you can change the pushback to be like 20 miles an hour. And
Okay.
then like
Okay.
if you get a chai battery core
Yeah.
battery, which is what I have in it now, you can also change the value. So in the One Wheel app, it reads the right percentage.
Hmm.
Okay. Wow.
And does
Yeah.
Rewheel like does it allow you to change pushback to a certain like duty cycle?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay.
You can open it up way more than what they have available. Like you could you can open up the firmware and you could if you know how to code, you can create a whole new board. So all the LEDs in your board are RGB. So your whole light bar could be rainbow.
Hmm.
Like your front headlight could be rainbow. Like it's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Does it allow you
Pretty
to
sweet.
basically do all the different custom shaping stuff as well?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I
And
have
do you have to
custom
have
shaping on
like
my
coding
pint.
knowledge, or is it like simple to
No,
learn?
it's so simple. Like if you have an unupdated pint, it's so awesome. I think there's a video on YouTube. I fixed my PEV, and like it's so easy. You just go on the website and you literally just click boxes, and you just do it on a computer, and it's pretty sweet.
Yeah,
Wow. I mean,
I kind of want to try that with my GT.
yeah.
That'd be
Yeah.
sick. Like
Oh
I've
yeah.
I've wanted just to move the pushback to like 90% duty cycle, So that that's like a
Yeah.
place where I can be like, okay, I don't go faster than that instead of, oh, maybe I
hmm
can push this or something like that. Like
Yeah.
that's what I was hoping
Yeah.
they'd do with haptic buzz is push it back to like a pretty close to where you're gonna nosedive duty cycle.
Yeah.
Yeah. That would have been sweet.
Yeah, and you were at Float Life Fest on that pint, dude. You're competing with well, all kinds actually. What place did you get?
I think I ended up in 12th. My first race was against, oh, first race. I think it was Ricky Alley from Wheel Fun Stuff. Real
Okay,
Flyers.
so you took him out.
I took him out. Yeah, I beat him on a pint.
Nice.
And
That's
then
awesome.
yeah, I went against Noah Mead. And
Yeah, that's
then
the one I
no,
saw. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
and then he beat me. And then it sucked because then I won another race in the losing bracket. But then Noah
hmm
Mead paired up with me again in the losing
Yeah, and the
bracket.
constellations. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that kind of
Dang.
sucked.
But that's why I like. That's when I saw you there. I was like, dude, if he was on like on a GT or something, like, because the GTS wasn't really out back then.
hmm
You would have been flying, bro. If you're on GT, you definitely probably would have came higher at Float
Yeah.
Life Fest.
What
hmm
But
board are you
yeah,
riding
dude,
now
you're incredible.
for what board are you riding now for your competitions?
GTS series with a full like 5-inch hub. I think like N48 magnets, and then 5x5 enduro tire, and then control freaks, like a modified variant of them.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So you like made those yourself, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
they're
Wow.
really good.
And like how like so by modified, like how is it different from the regular control freaks?
So the regular control freaks, they're sitting flush with your foot pad, right? What
Yeah.
happens is if ours is able to do is that it's putting it on an angle, so it's over top of your foot rather than
Okay.
sitting where you have to push in with your foot into it. Now you don't have to do anything. It's like way
Okay.
better.
It's just like it's on top of it.
So think of like a flight
Okay.
fin. Imagine if you took your normal inside flight fin and put it to the outside. That's literally what it is.
Okay. I
Mm,
see.
hmm.
That's genius.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Like,
that's pretty sweet.
do you think foot holders like kind of excel your riding ability? But well, not really excel, just like kind of make riding your one wheel like more enjoyable or more,
hmm
just easier, just for racing and everything. Would you recommend it?
Yeah, I think I was messaging with Nico, and I was like, the first day that I got these on my board, I was like, Nico, how in the world have I gone so long without these footholds? Like, it's literally cheating. That's what I
Yeah.
think it's like.
Mm,
And to think someone like Austin Silva can go that fast without footholds, it's like, imagine throw him on footholds, throw him on a hub. Like,
yeah.
there's just so much more that this sport can grow. Like, I
True.
don't know. Like maybe footholds stunt your growth in the riding ability because
Yeah.
they're not raised for the rails. Like I was talking with Tyler James because he
I
let me
mean, that's
ride
how I
Bodie.
was.
Yeah, he let me ride Bodie's trick board for the mass race. He was so awesome, and because I had to ship my board back,
Mhm.
and he was like, just all these riders at Race for the Rails. If you can't beat Austin with footholds, how are you thinking you're gonna without footholds on a stock board? It's like you're playing his game at the end of the day. So
Mhm.
it's something
Yeah.
to keep in mind.
Yeah, my plan
Mhm.
for training up for Shred Fest and possibly Float Life Fest as well. I'm not sure if I'm gonna be there. But my plan for train up is just like take flight fins off the board, and then once I'm at
hmm
the actual event, I'll have flight fins on my board, you know?
Yeah.
'Cause that gives you the
hmm
extra ability to really control your board
hmm
without
Yeah.
the
Well,
help, you know?
yeah, and then like what my theory is, is like I want to qualify, like because
Yeah.
and once I know I'm in for Race for the Rail, like I'm gonna take them off, like
Yeah.
because I'm gonna need that practice. But at the same time, it is a disadvantage. But it's more of a disadvantage, in my opinion, not using the footholds and not being
Mhm.
able to podium at the events and chancing
Yeah.
not qualifying to Race for the
Yeah.
Rail in the big
Yeah.
run. Like that's the main race you want to make it to
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
long
that's what
run.
I'm saying is like take them off before your races to like get that extra practice, and then at your races have them on so that you're like extra
Yeah,
secure, you know?
yeah,
Because
yeah,
basically in your mind it'll get you to the mindset of like, you're set up for something that's gonna be for like riding. You've done tracks like those. You practice like that in with a harder board, with a board that's harder to control, and then you have the
yeah.
extra control on it makes you like even more confident during the race.
Exactly. Yeah.
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 Which I was thinking I might try to get some overlanders, try those out, but I'm not like that tall of a person. So I
Yeah.
was
Mhm.
thinking like flight fin extenders too, you know?
Well, I think you'd probably be good on the pint, at least if you're gonna put them on their pint, because at that point, like pines are shorter than GTs, so
Hmm.
that would be probably pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm mostly
Yeah.
riding GT now though. Except dude, my
Okay.
board's dead though. That's the problem. It died like 2 days ago. So I'm gonna have
Oh,
to go back to
geez.
like Pint or XR. But yeah, I'm
Yeah.
mostly
Yeah.
just riding GT now. I've been, lending out my Pint for a while.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you, Connor. How was Let It Ride? Like, how was that whole race in your opinion? Like, how did you feel there?
I felt pretty awesome. I was like,
Yeah.
man, I made it to the finals, and I was
Yep.
like, you know what? It's not worth getting hurt this season. I'm just gonna
Yeah.
chill back. And if you look at my times, everything was consistent. I did a 155, 154, and then I did another 154. It's like
Yeah.
it was super consistent, but I just wanted the points, and I got there. And I think another thing that, like what you said, is qualifying for Race for the Rails. And that's like the whole thing. It's like I want everything to get me there, every advantage I
Yeah.
can. Because like 10
Yeah. For
people
sure.
this year, only 10 people.
Yep. You want to make it in there for sure.
hmm And how are they going to do a bracket? Like, is it going to be 1v1s? Like, I have no
I
idea.
don't know. Yeah. I'm thinking because I have no idea. Yeah. I don't know. It's gonna be interesting this year. I wonder how they're gonna change it up. And then this year, there's not going to be a Europe person because there's not going to be a sanctioned race out there. So it's
Oh,
gonna be
dang.
it's gonna be different.
Mm.
But yeah. So how are those the three segments? How did you do? Any bobbles or any come offs or anything? Because your times were pretty good.
Yeah, all my times were good except for the third segment. I did crap. Like I was
You did.
like 15 seconds off of everybody else that I was normally beating. It's like I
Yeah.
hated the trail. It was all chunky
Yeah,
and
people were coming off a lot on that one. I saw people were just scraping their nose because all of those dips, and then
mhm.
the tight turns on the cliffside. I think even my dad came off and he like got
Wow.
he made it, but barely because of that one. Like his
Dang.
time's terrible on that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Wow.
number three, everybody was having a hard time on three. But you found your line on four pretty well because it was
I had
kind
no
of that
idea.
one was pretty hard.
I had no idea where I was going. I ended
Yeah.
up in the sand and I just saw everybody and I saw Kyle Hansen up on the hill and he's like, go that way. And I was like, okay. And I
Oh shoots.
just made it barely.
Yeah,
And I
good
ended up
thing you
with a
saw
good
it.
time.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, do you
Like
get
I was
like oh,
I was in
okay.
first place in all of the segments
hmm
until number four because I got like lost a little bit and it was like I didn't really know where the end of it was. Damn,
Yeah.
that's where Austin Silva caught me on the time trials.
Dang,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, Connor, do you
Yeah.
get like getting nervous or like a ton of anticipation before the races, or are you just like super chill? What's
I
your
get
mindset?
nervous. Yeah, I get nervous, but also I'm like these are also humans. Like everybody's gonna make a mistake and anything can happen. Like just look at any race. It's like one person falls off that was at the top, and boom, their time's done.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? I'm here. I'm gonna enjoy the experience even if I don't do well. And I've done a lot of research, like looking at previous years of racing, and it's like you'll look at someone who won Race for the Rails twice, Tyler James, and like he's getting 10th place at races.
Yeah.
Like they're just so inconsistent, and it's like if you can be consistent, then that's really gonna set you apart from everybody else. So,
No, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
And
it's very
that's all you got to
interesting.
do.
I think it's a very interesting kind of race when you have boards that basically have set top speeds, you know? Like they're all the
hmm
same board that have the same motor and set top speeds that they can go. I feel like
hmm
it makes the races very interesting and very unpredictable when, it's really based on like riders' pure skill instead of the performance of the vehicle.
yeah, that's very true. If we could open up the one wheels more, like I'm pretty sure, like doesn't your GTS get bricked if you unplug the battery, right?
I think all like modern production boards do.
Okay,
Hmm.
dang, it's
Yeah.
like why shut them down? Like if you want the sport to grow, like you want competition, and it's like look at other sports, they have to be pushed by other companies, but they don't really want to. But I see from their sides, like they have the patents, and the point of a patent is to sue others if they infringe on it, and others did. So I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this that kind of leads into like really interesting conversation me and Jafari have been having on like what
hmm
side we're on because I think Jafari's expressed that he's very like future motion, very on their side,
Yeah.
hmm
you know, and it's
Yeah.
like such an interesting conversation, like VESC versus regular boards or like right to repair, all that kind of stuff, and where the
Yeah.
real like how like what would really excel the sport more,
hmm
Yeah. Yeah. It's definitely like a big topic. And like there's lots of opinions that can be shared with it, but I feel
hmm
like at the end of the day, like it is kind of excelling the sport because since the best came out it made
hmm
competition with the GT because the best were beating the GTs and then they made the GTS and now we got this sweet board that Future Motion made, it's like
hmm
super fast and super fun and it's got some customizability in the app. So I mean like it is the competition. I think the competition is kind of cool, honestly,
hmm Yeah,
yeah,
for sure.
yeah,
And there's still more in the GTS because I remember I have a screenshot of it.
yeah.
Austin tweeted a long time ago that like when they were doing testing for the GTS, he said that Mercedes had gone 37 miles an hour on like 30% battery, like something
Wow.
insane. It's like,
Well,
whoa,
yeah. I definitely
how
like
much more?
because the torque, bro. The torque is
hmm
like, yeah.
Yeah,
Like I can
unreal.
feel that. I feel like I've maybe hit like a high 30, maybe on like a
Okay,
super steep downhill, just like maybe not holding it, but for like a little bit of time.
yeah, for
But
sure.
yeah, yeah, the GTSs, bro, they're so fast and so fun. One of the best boards ever.
hmm
So happy that they came out with that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
speaking of
they let that
competition,
grab and go.
I'm excited to see what happens next. Connor, have you seen the Val GT yet?
I have. That's crazy.
I know that's
It's
so
insane.
crazy. And like
Like,
speaking of what Jafari is saying, it'll be really interesting to see what Future Motion can do to combat that. Because that guy will
hmm
eventually, if you look on his website, it seems like he'll eventually start doing orders for that thing.
I
that'd
mean,
be
that's the
crazy.
thing. The thing is, like, you can have as many Valve GTs as you want, but you have to get Racer on it for it
hmm
to compete. You can't just
Yeah.
have can't have any Joe on a Valve racing against like the big dogs.
hmm
They're not gonna be able to compete no matter what board they're on. You can still fall off of it. And there's all types of stuff. There's like it's it's not just the board that makes you faster.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
I
of
think that, yeah.
course.
Yeah.
I think the real question is though, like, do we want to do we want to make these boards better and faster so that and then get experienced riders on them so that we can get like, even more
That's the
out of
thing,
this
yeah.
board, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like most of the experienced riders are like pro future motion because they want to practice on the GT, because if they're practicing on a valve board that's taking away all of their, ability to ride their
Mm-hmm.
stock board for race for the rail, they probably wouldn't want to do that unless they're racing in a best category because there are racers now like Luke Austin who race in both categories.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I definitely
Yeah.
think it's
But
good to keep them separate.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and like
Yeah.
it's definitely like future motion plays a very big part because you need a standardize board to race on. You need something that everyone can race on so that's it's fair. It's like everyone it's
Yeah.
it's based off a skill instead of the board's performance.
Well, kind
Mm-hmm.
of, and then now like they did add that whole customizability side with the custom shaping. So at Race for the Rail now we're gonna be like it is got kind of gonna be like who has the best custom shaping plus who's the best rider. It's not gonna
Mm-hmm.
be just who's you know yeah, it's gonna be both now. Yeah, it's gonna be crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like I think there's a lot more analysis on like if you look at Austin Silva. So like I used to watch that Scott Mendenhall podcast once in a while. And one time when they had Austin on, they were talking about everything about Austin and Mercedes. And one thing that Mercedes started saying and then Austin kind of cut her off is that like she was starting to talk about some process that they do is where they record each other riding and
Hmm.
then he kind of cut her off. So I'm guessing that there's so like if you looked at Austin's trail video for his settings, he posted them for Let It Ride. You can
Hmm.
see that he made different settings for pretty much every single segment. I think there was 1 through 3, there was one for segment 4, and then there was a race one for the final race. It's like that's three
Yeah.
segment or 3 settings. It's like no one else is doing that. Like maybe we should catch on to that a little more.
And
So
then
I
like yeah, and then I saw that video too. Like I did kind of notice that. I mean, they were all pretty similar. All of the
mhm,
settings, he did kind of just like notch one up like each.
yeah.
Like honestly, like I didn't change my setting at all. I have the same setting the whole entire
Mm,
time. Like I didn't
yeah,
change it at all. So and then I only I got second. So I
yeah,
mean, like the whole change in. I feel like that theory is kind of like I feel that that whole thing's just kind of I don't know. I don't know about all the custom shaping thing. I don't know if it would really matter to change it up because he did moving it up one on a different trail, then moving it down on a different trail. I'm not sure. Could just be trying to throw you off. It's just
yeah.
could.
That's very true. Yeah,
Yeah, it's
But
I
definitely
don't know.
probably maybe even a little too technical. Like
yeah,
it's a
yeah,
lot of
Hmm.
work and it doesn't seem like it really affects something too much. Of course, like if you're riding a gravel, super rough, large chunks, all that kind of stuff, versus like a
yeah,
Hmm.
smooth, flowy dirt trail, you're gonna want different shapings. That could definitely affect it. But if
yeah.
you're
I
just
feel
riding
like
similar segments, it won't.
yeah, exactly. But like the only time I change it is like maybe if I'm like hitting a super downhill track with some like crazy
Hmm.
whoops and burns, it's pure downhill, then I might change it. But
Yeah,
if it's like let it ride where it's all or the tracks are all pretty similar, like I would probably just keep the same setting, for the whole entire time. I wouldn't like, change it for every single track. But at something like dirt surfers where every single track is gonna be different, the one in Arkansas, it's
hmm,
Flash and Play. So like
yeah,
one track will be like a single track that's like not too downhill, and then you'll have one that has like crazy downhill, and then yeah, I'm probably gonna study
yeah,
each trail and get a setting
yeah.
for each different one. But
Hmm.
I don't know, all of that type of stuff. I'm not sure, like, because I haven't really like switched something off in my custom shaping and really like felt it. And I was like, oh, this is crazy. I haven't really felt that yet. But I felt
Yeah.
difference with all like the gradient tracking, turning that up, and
Hmm.
uh yeah, it's definitely there. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, what
Yeah.
I really like seeing with the custom shaping is how they've adopted some third-party stuff like the jump re-engagement and the single zone, off of the sure
Yeah, it's
start. I
great.
really like that they're looking at the things that people are making, the third-party stuff, and they're
Hmm.
really like incorporating those kind of things into the board,
Yeah.
even if it does make those third party add-ons kind of, not necessary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're doing a great job with all of that for sure. Because ever since that summit, a lot of the pro racers got a lot of opinions out, and a lot of people
Mhm.
shared stuff like that. And Future Motion actually did a lot of it. And yeah, they're definitely implementing a lot of people's thoughts into it now and supporting the communities.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
So
Connor, I
far,
did
you
want
were
to,
there though, right?
Yeah, I was there at the summit.
That's
Yeah,
awesome. That's
yeah, it
very
was super
sweet.
fun. Yeah,
Yeah.
they had us out there in like a little Airbnb. I was chilling with Send It Sam and stuff in Santa Cruz.
That's
It's so
awesome.
fun. That was awesome.
Yeah, that's really sweet.
But yeah, are you gonna try to make it out to any other races and defend your rank?
Heck yeah, bro. Well, I'm not
Yeah.
going to the Texas one, but
Okay, I'm going out there. I'm going out there.
oh geez. Yeah, dude, you'll
Yeah,
rip it.
yeah.
Yeah. But I'll go to Oak City. I'll go to Dirt Surfers, and then I'll go to
All
Seek
right,
and Tread.
sweet.
So
Yeah, I'll see you at Dirt Surfers and Seek and Tread. That's
yeah,
gonna be
I
good.
think we'll all be out at Seek and Shred.
Yeah,
that'd be
yeah,
sweet.
yeah.
Yeah,
Get some
man.
footage. We need to get some like footage of like all of us because we're kind of all in that same age range, but even without an
Yeah.
IG too.
Yeah, I
Hmm.
mean that's kind of our goal is
Maybe.
to elevate, up and coming riders of our age,
Yeah, for sure.
you
Yeah.
know. So yeah, we should
But
definitely get some footage and maybe do another interview with you out at Seek and Shred.
yeah,
Yeah,
maybe like
for
a
sure.
pre-race interview.
Hmm. Yeah, like
That
see
would be
see how
sick.
you're feeling before the race and then afterwards. But
Yeah, yeah, for sure. That would be sick. We should do that for like
hmm
all of us.
yeah,
But
Yeah.
we can even do it for the
yeah,
pro riders too.
yeah, for sure.
Oh man. Yeah, that'll be fun. As Seek and Tread, I heard that's like really fast and it's like made just for one wheel.
Yeah. So you've never been there, yeah.
No.
So yeah, I went. It's gonna be my I think fourth or third time going out there. That
Wow.
track, bro. One of the fastest one wheel tracks like ever because it's like it's so slicky, and then like it comes to these like little tech parts, and then you pass the tech part, and then it's just like this giant lane, and you're just like passing through, and then there's like a big drop coming up, and then it's like one of the best tracks. Yeah, it is like one of the only one wheel tracks like officially made for one wheel. It's not a bike track, so it's definitely
Wow.
sick.
Yeah,
That's
that's gonna be
awesome.
so sick out there. I'm really excited for it. It's gonna be
Hmm.
my first major event that I'm going to. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
we'll
and
definitely
it's
be
the
excited to see you
one.
out there.
Yeah, I'm excited to see you guys too.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're coming up to the end here.
Okay.
Do you have any sponsors you want to shout out?
Yeah, dude, for sure. I got a story for you guys. So I was one wheeling in a state park in Ohio, and
Okay.
I had met this guy named Doug, and he had his GT, and he had put on like I think he was at like 2,000 miles, and he had put it on in like a month or two, and I'm like, or maybe it wasn't that fast, but he had put it on pretty fast. I'm like, that's pretty crazy, and
Hmm.
I was riding with him, and then uh, I went and camped there again. And the second time, we really started talking. I was like, "Hey, I'm going to Foot Light Fest, and I'm gonna race." And he's like, "Dude, that's pretty sweet." And at that point, Doug had became first on the leaderboard for most amount of miles on a GT. He was at like 20,000 at that point, and I thought that was crazy. So I raced at Foot Light Fest, and he ended up giving me his backup GT. It had like 0 miles on it. And I was like, that is so awesome. And it was just
That's
so sweet. And I raced on that at Windman Enduro. And I didn't do the best because I had only had it for like 2 weeks, or was riding on it for 2 weeks. And then the GTS came out, and uh, his friend, Bill Davis from Echo Healthcare Payment System, he was like, hey, I want to get him on this new board. And he bought me a GTS series and a 5 inch up and fully,
wow.
fully did everything for me. And it was just, it's just amazing. Cause like at that point, it was like if I couldn't get a GTS, it's like it was gonna be over like $3,200. That's like a car. That is a car.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's like college would be out the window at that point. It's like, but yeah, and it was so awesome, and yeah, they're just super nice people, and I
Wow,
think
and you met him
Doug,
at you were just riding at a park.
yeah, riding at
Wow,
State Park.
that's so sick.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome. Yeah, but I think he's gonna come out. He was gonna go out to Let It Ride, but then he decided not to. So I think he's gonna come to Dirt Troopers potentially, but
Nice.
I don't know, one of these races. But
That's
yeah, it
awesome.
was so sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, I think we're coming up to the end here. We've got
Okay.
lot of material over here. How you feeling, Eli?
Okay.
I'm feeling pretty good. It's been a pleasure to talk to you, Connor.
Yeah, thanks
Yeah,
for
dude.
having me, guys.
Yeah, do you want to shout out any socials or anything?
I mean, Connor Chapel on Instagram. It isn't that exciting, but it's
Well, I
something.
mean, it's your name. It's easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Alrighty. Thank you for watching our first interview. We're super thankful, Connor. We want to have you again after Oak City Shred. And you have anything to say? Any last things to share?
Thank you guys for having me. That was so awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're super thankful for you, bro. Eli.
I guess just check out socials. Jafari is on Instagram and TikTok. We got Onewheel Hawaii on YouTube and TikTok as
Yep,
well.
yep,
And
and
then,
don't forget to check Connor Chapel on Instagram as well.
yeah.
Yep,
Thank you so much for joining us, Connor.
Yeah, thank you guys. See you guys
Yeah.
out
yep,
riding.
yep. Shoots.
Shoots.